I hate to break the fishing news after Chuck, but I'd like to speak about the ice hockey.
Congratulations, you're one of the 13 listeners of the Real Life Podcast.
We just traded a migraine in for like an orgasm.
Might want to mark that down.
Yep.
All of my projects are on schedule until they're not.
A member of the Nation Network of Podcasts.
About as funny as we're going to get today.
Welcome in to a new episode of the Real Life Podcast, which today is delivered by DoorDash. If your holiday party's coming up this weekend or you're hosting a big gathering and you're like, damn, I forgot like 9 things because you're naturally a forgetful person like me, don't worry, DoorDash can bail you out. You can find everything you need for that big holiday party on the DoorDash app. And for a limited time, our Canadian listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the code NATION25. That is all caps, NATION25.
I DoorDashed on Friday.
Oh, what'd you get?
It was delicious.
I DoorDashed on Saturday morning. You know your M-check. I drink my coffee black Monday to Friday, but on Saturdays I like to on the weekend put a little.
Yeah,
Did you do it? You got the creamer?
A little French vanilla creamer?
I ordered French vanilla creamer, just the big bottle, through DoorDash. Got it in like 23 minutes. It was amazing.
Is that the smallest DoorDash order you've done? Because I can think of mine. I was very hungover and lazy, and I DoorDashed a Slurpee last summer.
Yeah, I don't think I've gone that low because this was like a $9 transaction. They were all sitting because I got the big bottle.
How do you DoorDash your Slurpee? Like, can you pick the flavors or do you have to be like one flavor?
How melty was it?
That was fine.
Can you be like,
It got here like toot sweet.
They know that's high priority delivery right there.
So DoorDash drivers can actually write off any speeding tickets they get if they can prove there's a Slurpee in the vehicle.
Don't believe that to be true. Yeah. Don't listen to Tyler.
Yeah, that's not true. I had an all-time holiday party blunder on the weekend. Also, Chalmers isn't here, so Liam is.
Hello, I am 100.
Close enough.
So every year, me and my friends have a big holiday get together. Everyone brings their girlfriends. There's like a group of 20 of us. We always get together around Christmas.
Always.
Have a potluck, do a gift exchange.
What did you make?
Amber made warm potato salad. I put a whole container of Bailey's into a vat of coffee, and that was my contribution.
Fantastic work.
And it was a big mover. That vat was empty at one point.
Bailey's and coffee, though, is like we are in peak Bailey's and coffee season outside of early morning tea time.
Also, I wanted it to be a late night. I didn't want anyone going home early. So I was like, if people are coming in the door at 6:37 and I'm giving them cups of coffee, then this party's going to hum. Anyways, we do our gift exchange. It's one of those blind gift exchanges, right? Where you got to pass, you can steal and everything like that.
And everyone has to be blind.
Mm-hmm. So we're going through it, getting a little bit down to the nitty gritty, and there's one box no one's really touching. And my one buddy goes and he's looking at it, he's debating opening it, and he goes, God, I want this one. He goes, but it's shaped like a puzzle. Me, handful of drinks deep at this point, pipe up and go, if someone brought a fucking puzzle to this gift exchange, they're not invited back next year.
It's a puzzle.
Thinking there's no way a 26-year-old would have brought a puzzle to this gift exchange. Yeah, it was a puzzle.
How many pieces?
1,500.
Okay.
That's a sizable puzzle.
Legit. That's a commitment.
That's a weekend activity.
You don't like puzzles?
Also,
you didn't do a puzzle during the pandemic at all?
I did a lot of puzzles.
Now, your question is how many puzzle pieces, not what's the picture?
Yeah.
It was like a skyline or something, like a beach scene. I don't know.
I want to know how much of a commitment I got before I'm digging into that puzzle.
I just did a 2,000 piece puzzle of Disney. It was awesome. I would have loved to have been.
Yeah, puzzles are fun. Your
again, not saying they aren't, but at a gift exchange where it's like bottles of booze.
So I guess I'll return the puzzle for the company gift exchange that I purchased.
What's the picture on it though?
Bring puzzles.
Yeah.
Someone bought like a Theragun, like one of those things. Like
what? That's expensive.
I know.
That must have been stolen or bought a knockoff from Wish.
Or it could be a returned item at one of those consumers distributing depots.
I think that's where they got it. And anyway, so they
refurbished Theragun?
Yeah.
So someone opened up the puzzle and I immediately was like, oh boy, one of these guys' girlfriends is going to hate me now.
One more of these guys.
Straight up. But then not only did the puzzle get taken, the puzzle then got stolen a couple of moves later.
Blowing up in your face.
And the guy who stole it was like, my sister loves puzzles and I haven't gotten her anything for Christmas yet. He goes, this is perfect.
Oh, the regifter.
Another satisfied puzzle recipient.
So your M-Chuck, you finally come to the realization that not everyone is going to like and dislike the same things you like and dislike. Have you gotten there yet?
No, like I get
clearly.
it. I get it.
Do you?
I definitely had egg on my face.
Was that your gift? Egg?
No, it was not my gift. My gift was not egg.
That's unrelated.
Yeah. I felt really bad about it. I don't dislike puzzles either, but again,
Sounds like you do. What if it was a
to make a
3D
scene.
puzzle, one of those vertical puzzles?
That'd be sweet.
cool. But again, in the moment when everyone's opening up, like, a lot of booze and like lottery tickets and things like that, and then it's like someone says, it might be a puzzle, and I was like, there's no way. And yeah, it was.
You can lock into a puzzle for a full weekend, like Jay said.
Yeah, and it was one of the few gifts that got
Therapeutic
stolen.
even.
Yes, exactly.
In
Hard on
2020,
the eyes sometimes.
Sometimes, sure.
in 2020, when there wasn't a lot going on, I was like, I should do those puzzles that Urs had. She glued them all together when she was done.
Yeah, we got that special spray paint.
No one's
You can,
allowed
like,
to use them
frame
ever again. Framed? Where the lube? I go down. All the puzzles are A, completed, and B, glued together with like a sheet of paper separating
I
each
will
one. I
not
was like,
subscribe to gluing puzzles.
framed. Then frame the motherfuckers. That was a disappointing day.
Well, I couldn't travel. I had to bring back to Australia. It'd been too hard.
During the pandemic, me and my family did a massive puzzle one winter. It was like right on
to
Christmas.
glue it together after, so it was never to be
Did you
done
have
again.
fun?
Were you miserable the
Family doing
whole
it, or
time?
Was it the
No.
trauma? that
Did
we
you
didn't know
yell
about?
at whoever brought up the idea?
What was the picture of?
It was of a cat.
How many pieces?
I don't remember, but it was
Three.
it was
It
like
took them 4 hours.
It was one of those wood ones with the little knobbies that
Yeah.
kids have at the doctor's office.
So it was this huge puzzle, and we sat 6 of us around the kitchen table at my parents', and we were so committed to finishing it that day that we sat around the table and we had a timer going, and you would have like your quadrant of the puzzle that you're trying to like put together, and we had a timer, and every 2 minutes we'd go switch, and everyone would move a seat to the left so that your eyes like,
I like that.
could get the
Freshen it up.
adjustment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fresh eyes.
Yep.
for
So
a
anyways.
3-piece puzzle.
yeah. So anyways, I
So
don't.
did you have fun doing it?
Yeah, I did.
You must have been livid.
What is
But
happening right
the
now?
point of this was not for me to be like, I don't like puzzles.
The other gifts are booed. Oh,
I just-
because there's
Sounds like you're an
booze and there's-
alcoholic.
I regret saying what I did.
Well, as we unpack it, you really should.
Also, this conversation is probably not going the way you thought it would either.
Yeah, that's fair. So yeah, that was my Friday night Christmas party.
I'll lock into a puzzle.
I love a good puzzle.
I just like it when they're all glued together and they're framed on the wall.
Yeah.
And then I walk by and go, ooh, that must have been some work. And I keep walking.
But you want to remember the puzzle.
You know, you could redo it again and remember all the good times.
Yep.
That's fair.
The journey ×2.
There's some people that will do a puzzle and then will do the puzzle flipped over.
Yeah, that's
That's extreme.
next level shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how the hell.
So you're not
Like
even looking
just
at
the
a
one color side?
Just
Yeah.
no, yeah, it's the cardboard backing. They'll do the puzzle that way.
I don't even know how you do that.
What
Yeah.
do you mean?
You just got to work the edges.
Yeah.
I think you got to like go in circles, edges in.
That's when you got
So
on like
the
a deserted
non-picture side
island
of
or
the
you're
puzzle.
in jail
But
or
that's
some
not
shit.
fun.
No, because you want to see the pictures
Yeah,
of
we got a
alive.
good 15 years to kill.
Yeah, and when you're staring 30 in the pokey down. You know what? I'm going to do this puzzle inside out.
I don't like that. I can't subscribe to that.
No,
No, not for me.
Yeah, that's a generally insane thing to do.
Clearly, you've never been a prisoner of war.
Well, not lately.
If I was serving time, puzzle would be a good way to pass the time.
I'd write books.
I'd read them.
Would you?
Like it just is.
You'd never guess they're from a guy in jail. That'd be my goal.
To write books so good you never know the guy.
Well, I couldn't write a book about sitting in my cell. Nobody would want to read that.
Yeah, I
I
guess
could write a
repetitive.
space trilogy because I got all the time in the world for character development.
or prison shanks.
No, I wouldn't want to talk about that. I'm living that.
Yeah, you got to get out of the real world and into a fantasy one.
Exactly. My dad, I guess we can tell these stories. Why not? He, in university, spent a summer working at Alberta Hospital in the mental institution side of things.
Okay.
He was thinking about becoming a doctor. This convinced him not to become one because people who are ill are difficult to be around sometimes. But the people at Alberta Hospital were from like Batman movies because there was some people in there that had committed like crazy crimes.
Yeah.
And then were in their cell. And my dad had this one guy and he was a ward. So he'd like hang out with these people and chill. And he was very amicable to deal with. So he was friends with most of them. And this guy hadn't left his room in like 20 years, but painted the most amazing pictures with the craziest detail. And my dad would trade him cartons of smokes, different time, for paintings. And
That's
this,
still jail currency.
I think so, but I don't think you like, yeah.
No, they're probably huffing vapes now.
But this guy, like, there was pictures throughout my dad's office, and like you'd see, like, there was one member of a bay, and it was so detailed with a boat in a bay. You'd swear he sat in the bay and painted the bay, but he hadn't left his room in 20 fucking years.
That's wild.
So he's just doing it off the dome, man.
Straight off the dome. Then the next one would be a mountain range, and you'd be like, damn, that's so, like, he must have been in the Alps or something. Nope. Same room, same cell, same smokes. Good times.
That is crazy.
Anyways, that guy did puzzles, your check. And when they gave him one, he wasn't like, oh, terrible. He was like, sweet.
Yeah, again, I regret a lot of things that I say, and that's up there.
You speak for a living. You should.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy you a puzzle for your birthday
I might have made an
every
enemy.
year from now until the end of time.
So the best case scenario, I thought about this because, again, living with my tremendous amount of guilt, is the guy who stole it back and was like, I'll get that for my sister. She loves puzzles. My theory is that he bought it for his sister and was like, I'm just going to win this back at the exchange. I don't want any of these other people's junk. So in that case,
Yeah, but it's like booze and lottery tickets, and
I know it was a good gift exchange.
I loved a good gift exchange where you can steal them back.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite things about the Nation Christmas party.
Are we doing a gift exchange of ours?
We got it.
we should. Well,
Got
it's
it.
always interesting.
Look,
what
don't you
Waz's
remember
gonna do
how
next.
much fun it was last year when Waz stole the only gift Jay wanted?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's
Did
a
you
good
ever
one.
buy
Expected
it
it.
back from him? That was
Slash
funny.
demoted him.
Yeah.
You had to make side deals. It was the best. I love
a
it.
nice set of glasses.
Oh yeah, I still owe Spencer for that. I owe him a 6-pack of beer.
Well,
Got some interest on there now.
So coming from the guy who won or who was laughing at the puzzle, what I ended up getting was the board game version of Wordle. Now that's a party.
Oh, I was just looking for that the other day.
that really came and went in a hurry, didn't it?
Exchange.
Yeah, well, maybe I will.
Wordle?
Yeah.
Everybody was in it for a minute and then we all got out.
I brought Ticket to Ride to gift exchange last year, and that thing got stolen a bunch.
That is the best game.
It is
I love Ticket
land
to
some
Ride.
track.
Whenever I go to Christmas events, none of the girls want to play Tickets to Ride, but me and my two brother-in-laws want to play Ticket to Ride.
It's a kissing game or what?
No, you basically just have a map of wherever you're playing. There's a European version, a North
Yeah.
American version, and you just
You lay
go
track
from one city to
destination
the
to
other.
destination.
It's awesome.
Hub cities.
Yeah.
Compete for track.
I love this time of year for the random board games that come out. Last year at me missus's family's place, we played this one called Redneck Life. And the goal of it is it's essentially Monopoly, but for rednecks. And the goal of it is not to acquire capital, but to keep all your teeth.
Oh, the hardest battle there is.
It was so much fun. Had the best time. I love a good board game.
So yeah. That's
So
fine.
just picture Monopoly, but not to get money, to keep your teeth.
Are there actual teeth you play with?
There's little drawings of teeth, and when you lose one, you have to scratch it out.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Just like real life.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. This Ticket to Ride game looks fun. I've never played it. Never even heard of it.
It's
awesome.
amazing.
Sweet.
Simple.
Yeah.
But fun.
I don't think I've played this either.
Good amount of strategy behind it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta have a strategy around which routes you pick.
Because the longer the train, the more points. You can have a variety of trains, but
Yeah.
I was watching Mr. Beast recently. I've been watching a lot of Mr. Beast.
Did you watch the new one? New one's great.
I watched
the
them
new
all.
one was wild.
Mr. Bean?
Mr. Beast.
I also watch Mr. Bean. I just enjoy his
Only
content.
6
So he has
episodes.
this one where they lock a couple together in a room. Have you seen
Yeah.
this? And it's all lit
That's-
up, right? So
that's-
there's this couple, they don't know each other. They're locked
That's
in
the
a-
new one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The lights are on.
100 days.
Yeah. But what's insane is that like he's offering them prizes to see if they'll crack and like buy a personal chef for every meal. But he locks them in the room with their money. So they're seeing it all day long.
And every day they get more money, right?
Nope. It's this
No,
is all
this
or
one
nothing.
was this one was 500 grand
For 100 days.
just in briefcases. So they
Split
were all
between the
stacked
two.
up.
Then they're just throwing things at them to try to get them to crack. Like you can, rather than eating canned chicken, you can have a personal chef for the rest of this.
But they would
50
have to
grand of your
subtract
money.
50 grand from their total.
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So then what he does is he brings them in a TV with all these DVDs and they're like, we don't want it. And he's like, all right, fine. I'm just going to leave the TV. And it's so funny because this guy's just sitting there. He's been locked in this room for God knows how long. He's looking at this TV. He goes over to the wall and there's like LED lights in the room to light it up. And he like pulls the cord out of the wall and cuts it, then goes and jerry rigs the TV to have TV.
Oh wow.
Like
So
over the air, like old
Yeah, he's
rabbit
like,
ears.
if this-
he should get 50 grand
He
for that.
kept, they had TV the rest of the time. Mr. Beast is like, that's unbelievable.
Let him keep it.
And it was amazing. He just took a cord, cut it, and then jammed it into the back of the TV. And he's like, come on. 7 digital channels. Unbelievable.
That kid makes such good content.
It's so good, man.
It's so good.
It's so. I saw the one where he's got the guys on the barge, like they were out at sea. Have
Yeah,
you
they
seen
had to
that
survive
one?
a week.
That was crazy.
It's such good content because
Yeah.
it's not. Maybe it's fake. They didn't
No, I
look
don't think
that.
so.
I don't
They
think
didn't
so.
look that dirty or fucked up though. Like
Well, you can jump in the water and clean yourself off every day, I guess, right?
I suppose, but like if you, I don't know. Anyways, it could be fake. I was tricked by Survivor. You know, Survivor was like largely they got to like sleep in tents and shit, right?
Really?
I remember reading stuff about this on Reddit that like people had figured out that on because they did Survivor Africa and it was real, and everybody was so fucked up and lethargic because they never got food or anything. That was like terrible television. So they kind of made it real-ish.
All I know is Jeff Probst get 100K per episode. That's what I know about.
Well, you know,
Survivor.
he's flying in on a helicopter that's
Fucking
air
right.
conditioned.
Yeah.
He'll be in
Jeff
Switzerland
Probst
by night.
Yeah, one of them
New
lavish-
season. I'm in.
He hasn't aged a day. They've done everything they can do.
Well, he's looking a little stiff these days.
He died?
No, me missus watches Survivor, you see. So I'm watching and the old face doesn't move the way it used
Oh,
to.
I see.
Oh,
You know?
peel back and Botox.
You know who really hasn't aged a day is Julie Chen because she got that Les Moonves 24/7 Botox team.
Hey, Julie Chen Moonves.
She looks great.
Yeah. I watched, I don't watch.
Are you watching Reindeer Games?
No, not yet. I got to subscribe to this.
What is that?
It's
I
the
saw
like
it,
2-week
I didn't.
shortened format where they have a bunch of ex-players
Because Frankie's on it, right?
Frankie's on it.
Grande.
of Big Brother.
It's called Reindeer Games?
It's Santa's Reindeer Games. So and winning competitions is like you need like to win. You
That's
need
how
to
you
win
win.
competitions.
Do you get voted out?
No,
Oh,
you go to a showdown every episode. So every episode, someone goes home, and it's a showdown between two people.
Do they live in the house?
They live in the house, yeah. And it's every day. There's a full scheme of things. There's a naughty or nice competition, and if you win that, you give someone an advantage or someone a disadvantage for the Jingle Brawl contest, which is where
Jingle
you compete.
Brawl contest?
Yeah, where you compete, and then from there, you I believe you nominate the two people that then go play in the brawl.
So it's like a sped
Or
up
in the
Big
final,
Brother.
it's sped up, yeah, every day.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so there's
Sweet.
Xavier, Brittany, Taylor drives me fucking crazy.
Oh, she was not.
She thinks she's so good.
The winner?
Yeah.
I never liked her.
Undeserving winner.
Yeah.
I do need to dig into that.
IMO.
That's an interesting thing. They actually came up with a spin-off show. It seems like a good idea.
You know what? I watched it over the weekend in the mornings, and yeah, I'm vibing it.
What's
Yeah,
it
sure.
called? Big Brother Reindeer Games?
Big
Yeah, I gotta
Brother
look for
Reindeer
this.
I
Games.
want to see the cat.
We had an
So
argument
they're
at home.
trying to compete to get to the Reindeer Games, which I'm assuming once you get to a certain remaining number of contestants, the Reindeer Games begin.
You ride a reindeer and fight.
That's right.
I assume.
In the
It's
Jingle
like
Brawl.
polo, but you're on a reindeer.
Yes.
Me missus loyal Survivor watcher.
Seriously.
$1 million prize in Survivor. Is it $750 in Big Brother?
It is now. It used to be $250, and like 2 years ago they upped.
So I was wondering, I'm like, is Survivor that much harder? Why is the prize so much bigger?
Cerise says.
So we
Big
got in
Brother's
an
harder.
argument about which of the two games is harder. I feel like Big Brother is harder because it extends much longer if you go to the end.
Yeah, like 100 days locked away.
Yeah.
But there's no like, you're not going to starve to death in the Big Brother house, but you couldn't survive.
But this is what we're going through. We're batting these back
It's
and
air
forth.
conditioned.
Yep. Still nothing to do. Much longer.
Yeah, but like if you're in like an island, just being alive takes so much more work than being
True.
in climate control. They have cleaning ladies, ultimate or people at some degree. Like garbage doesn't pile up in a house.
Because we
Things
were
are
getting to
food
the end
rotten.
of this Survivor season and they were on day like 25 or 26 or something. I'm like, fraction of the time? How dare you?
You don't see people lose.
It's a 30-day season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's that short?
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
it.
Wow.
They stretch it out, like obviously the programming. I think,
Yeah.
So
The hardest one's Alone.
Oh, Alone's
Oh,
impossible.
you watch Alone?
yeah, I've seen a bit.
So
yeah,
good.
It's what I thought Survivor was going
Yes,
to be
yes.
originally.
I remember the original ad for Survivor's like, we have all these people on a boat and we're going to make them swim to shore and live on the island like castaways. I was like, this is going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, so that's Alone, which
It
is
is
a
Alone.
fantastic show. They cannot crank those out fast
But like,
enough.
there's no human dynamic problems on Alone. Like they're not
No.
ganging up to vote each other out. It's just like some lady living in a pine tree house that she made trying not to freeze to death. And that's good television, your M-check.
There's one in England called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. You guys seen that?
I've heard of
that
it.
used to be here. We
Jamie
did
Lynn
it.
Spears was on.
I don't know that
Quit,
it
right?
caught on.
Was
though.
she?
Yeah.
I think she was on the latest season.
She quit immediately.
Yeah, and it's basically just 12 celebrities just thrown into the Australian jungle for I think like 30 days or so.
Sir, there is no
New
jungle in
challenges.
Australia.
Yeah.
This
So-
what?
I'm a geologist or geographist by trade. There's no jungle in Australia. It's a desert.
Well, allegedly, there's
Maybe just like a ravine.
Was it an
It's a
outback?
rainforest.
That's not a jungle.
It was a jungle.
A jungle in Australia?
There was a big forest.
The hinterlands.
Perhaps, yeah. They
Was
call
Melbourne?
They say the
Maybe up by the
Australian
Blue
jungle.
Mountains.
Do they?
Yes,
Maybe up north.
maybe. I don't know. It's just
They get all the rain.
there is a lot of rain.
Definitely not in the
Townsville?
outback, though.
Well, Queensland's like submerged right now. I'd say that.
Yeah.
Like,
But that's a flash flood. That's not a jungle.
but from rain.
Yeah, true. But flash floods generally happen in deserts.
Yeah. Touche.
You mentioned Les Moonves.
Of course, my dear friend.
Oh, so just real quick, you talk about, did you watch Family Guy by last night?
I was just I never miss an episode. I watch it every single Sunday.
I
When it's
never
new.
watch it.
Oh,
But for me to watch it last night, it was just on. The joke about him being Les Moonves Chen made me laugh out loud.
Family Guy has taken like multiple shots at Julie Chen Moonves and Les Moonves over the last couple of years. Like they did a whole long bit about Big Brother at the beginning, like 2 seasons ago, where they talk about Julie Chen Moonves changing her name to add that to like stand up for her husband committing gross sexual acts, allegedly. And then last night there's a joke where Les Moonves is on there. He goes, "Hi, I'm Les Chen Moonves. I'm now using my wife's name to build up some goodwill after committing like heinous sexual crimes."
Oh my God.
It's so funny.
Is it allegedly?
They didn't pull any punches, that's for sure.
No. And
I
then,
didn't know Family Guy did that.
oh yeah.
I thought just South Park goes after like,
It just so happened to be on, so I was watching it, and I was laughing though.
Last night was a good
stuff.
episode. There's a new episode.
Ted's coming back as a sitcom.
Like,
With Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, it's like a prequel, right?
Is it?
it's definitely
when
Seth
he's a
MacFarlane
kid.
voicing the.
Oh yeah, no, it's Seth MacFarlane.
How does he
for
find
sure.
the time?
The guy's got a lot going on.
AI.
Could be.
Yeah, I think it's about when Ted became Ted, like for real.
So it'd be like probably like
Yeah.
young Sheldon then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much, but
Gotcha.
more
Yeah,
aggressive.
Teddy.
Yeah. Teddy.
Is that what it's called?
Makes sense.
Tyler's
Young
No, it's called
Sheldon.
why
Jesus.
TED 3 isn't happening, but a prequel is. Oh, got to disable this.
We need something to put on basic cable to show in medical offices while people wait to get pharmaceuticals. We know Big Bang Theory was going to go forever. How about Young Sheldon? I'm listening.
I'm rewatching The Office again, and
didn't
that
think
show
about that.
is so good. You could never do it now, but the early seasons were so funny.
So the TED TV series will consist of 6 episodes that take place in 1993 when the novelty of TED is past and John has to focus on high school, getting a girlfriend, and planning for college.
Yeah, young Sheldon.
Yeah, it's young
Who's
Sheldon.
going to play John?
But that was also funny. So the whole Family Guy bit on the episode last night was like fighting back against the death of cable TV. And he has Peter has some funny line in it where he's like, all my shows need to have a Sheldon in it. He's like, at some age, there needs to be Sheldon at some point. They just take
Oh my God. I feel like I watched a show, but I didn't watch the show.
Oh, it was great. We also talked before the last episode of this podcast about like who's watching The Masked Singer. Like Chalmers piped up about that because I think his wife or something had it on, and he was like, "Who's sitting down?"
Yeah, if the Chalmers household is not watching Global, then there's serious repercussions.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair.
contractually they have
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
Yes.
The TV has one setting.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Masked Singer. I've never understood that one.
I'm sure it's exciting for some. I've just never watched
The
it.
shows I don't get are like Chicago MD, Chicago Police, Chicago Fire. And you watch and it's just like titillating entertainment for old ladies not to scream to.
Yeah, I have a friend who that's all she watches is just like those doctor, like
It's a
whatever.
good
show.
doctor though.
I never got into
The
that.
crime shows are
The
even
CSI, just the
preposterous.
variety of CSI.
Well, CSI is like the mothership. I'm talking like the knockoff
NCIS
brands, right?
too is also
There
in there.
is CSI Brandon Manitoba.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jump the shark.
But there's like even more generic ones. I think it's called like Chicago Fire, Chicago PD.
Yeah.
And it's just like, we didn't even have the intelligence to invent like a franchise. We just took a city.
Well, there's like Lone Star 911, Texas.
Can you pull up
Massacre
David
Medical.
Caruso 2023? You want to see something that's going to fry your brain?
Whoa!
Look at this.
Why does he look that way?
Show Jay.
No way.
Let's show me. You're not showing me.
That is the picture.
Well, he's got it. Like he's probably 70.
Well, does that look like a 70-year-old to you? Or does that look like a guy who's guilty of something?
Yeah, that's
67 years old.
Yeah, he's probably.
That red hair.
Like he had his
long
run,
and
like he was
scraggly.
as Horatio. Like he's probably 58 there.
Now pull up Jonathan Taylor Thomas 2023.
I've already seen that. I'm already on board with
But
JTT.
there's a happy ending to this story. But let's look at his photo and laugh.
I like that
Oh,
JTT
actually,
is just kind
I
of
have
like
got a funny story to tell. 1 second.
about Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
No, about how
Who
people
is
look
this
older
guy?
when they're older. Let's see.
JTT. He was on Home Improvement, bro.
Jay, yeah, it's right here.
He was
he
was
was the
the
kid.
But here's the thing
Yeah, the
about
middle one,
JTT.
Randy.
Kind of looks
Yeah.
the same.
I'm pretty sure he went to Harvard and Oxford, if I'm remembering his bio correctly.
I love that
What?
he just checked out and he's doing
He
his own
made $1
thing.
trillion and he became an academic. Like he hasn't done any movies. He hasn't gone crazy. He hasn't had anything bad happen. He's like, I made a whole bunch of money.
Because on either side of him on Home Improvement, the younger kid had weird issues.
Crazy
and
Randy?
The older one had
Zach?
Yeah,
Zachary Ty Bryan?
Zachary Ty Bryant. Yeah.
Can you just pull up what he did, JTT did with his life? Because it's unbelievable, man.
Wasn't the younger Home Improvement kid the one in the Santa Claus movies?
Probably.
That was him, right?
I don't remember.
I watched
The Santa
it.
Claus?
Randy.
No.
with Tim Allen.
No, that's JTT.
No,
Jonathan Taylor Thomas is
No,
in
it's
Santa
not.
Claus, yes.
No, Jonathan Taylor Thomas was in I'll Be Home for Christmas. or
Oh,
something
you're
like
right.
that.
I knew there was a
Let's have a
Christmas.
look.
He went to, let me see here,
Harvard Tech.
No.
Harvard University.
He's not Peter Girelli.
Studied philosophy and history and spent a third year abroad at University of St. Andrews in Scotland. In 2010, he graduated from Columbia University for general studies. He also went to Chaminade College Preparatory in West Hills, California. So
I can't speak to that last one, but the other schools are exemplary. Good for you, JTT.
he's got 4 schools under his belt.
That's impressive.
There. Yeah.
All right, we are
Okay, go
good.
ahead.
No, I have nothing.
So I was at Cabela's yesterday to get Crawford's photo of Santa.
At Cabela's?
At Cabela's, yeah.
to get her first hunting gun.
Yeah.
Is Santa in camo at Cabela's?
Her first rifle,
Hunter Santa.
a little bit taller than her. Yeah, camo Santa.
Okay.
Oh, straight up?
No.
Oh,
So I go and look behind. I look behind, like I do like a triple take on this guy, and I'm like, holy shit. That is the guy I worked at Safeway with that I used his ID as my fake ID.
you never forget
I remember
that
those
guy.
days.
But like, looks a lot different. But I had to like do some staring. And I'm like, oh my God, that is him.
So you used to look alike to the point that you could pass for one another, and now you've
Ish.
diverged.
He was 3 years older than me. And yeah, I used his ID to get into
So did you talk to him?
No.
Oh,
No.
did he recognize you?
I maybe like after the fact, 'cause I'm like, after the photo, I kind of caught myself looking, and then I saw him looking at me, and I was like, oh shit, like I think he now knows that I'm me because I didn't have a beard then.
How long ago would this
I
have been?
had 2 earrings in. At
You were
that
looking
time.
gangsta.
I had frosted tips or something.
Damn right. The girls were lining up.
You used to have your ears pierced?
We all did.
They're still pierced. If you really want
Chalmers
to
did too.
horse one in there, right? We easily can.
Horse went in.
So that was interesting. I didn't want to talk because like that is such an amount of time to catch up with someone on that you just don't even want to like. It's not like here, do you have 3 hours worth to catch up? But just I didn't
You
want
could come up with an abridged version of like,
I
look,
don't
I have
know.
a kid. That's all you need.
How are things? Busy? You? Yeah, busy. Stuff to the same old stuff. Yep.
Still giving out your ID to kid 3 years younger than you to
Still
get
using your ID, man.
Yeah. I've committed massive mail fraud in your name. Thanks for that then and now.
And like it's funny because like he's 3 years older than me, and I've got like 18 or 20-month-old, and like he had like a 15-year-old daughter.
I'm doing the math on this. Huh?
Well, like it's just like it's funny because like we're not that far apart in age,
Yeah.
and our kid differential delta is massive.
So what
Yeah.
was he doing? Did he have a younger kid he had with him?
yeah, they had like probably a 5-year-old or something.
Ah, okay. Makes
Take
sense.
your
But I was
30-year-old
like-
adult
like,
son.
wow,
to
yeah.
Santa
And then,
Cabela.
holy cow! Did I just think about Safeway for fucking the last 24 hours?
So
All
is
the
there
stories?
Is there stuff you want to get off your chest? Is that why you bring it up? That is super weird when you see
It's-
someone you like
Yeah.
vaguely.
It was just like I had my 20-year reunion back in June, and that was the whole night. What have you been up to the last 20 years? I don't know.
I know,
man.
and that's why I avoided. So like, hey man, I'm not gonna say your name because I committed a crime using your ID.
I think the statute of limitations has run out.
Depends what the crime is.
I
Right?
saw you. I was just scared to like have that weird
You
conversation.
think he's listening?
Of course. Of course
he
he
might
is.
be an Oilers fan, yeah.
100%.
If he was listening and didn't say hi to you, that's super whack.
Yeah, because then he would have the easy conversation starter of like,
I listen to
hey,
your podcast.
listen to the pod.
Chalmers cheated.
Yeah, maybe. I always think it is awkward though. Like my thing, sometimes you bump into someone who like, not like this, but like you knew them in high school. So like, their face, their first name kind of thing. Then you always do like the make eye contact. And it's like, do you pretend to not know them? Do you give them like that? Hey,
pull out the phone real quick. Pretend you're on a call.
What's that, Pizza Hut? A survey?
Well, I was, thankfully I was busy keeping firearms out of Crawford's hands. So like I had an excuse, but.
Oh, she'd look adorable with a little baby gun though.
I'm interested why the Cabela Santa.
Yeah, I thought you went to the.
Was he highly recommended?
I didn't know
They made that
one.
pyramid at Cabela's. Oh, it's Bass Pro Shop.
For two reasons. Actually, we went there last year just because we found out they had Santa. And then we're scrambling because this is our last potential day because it's busy for us to find a Santa for Crawford.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, shit, where can we go? And she's like, well, we went to Cabela's last year. They're all booked. And we called like, will you take, because everywhere was booked. We knew malls would be lined up. Like, will you take walk? And he's like, yeah, we try to accommodate. And then sure shit, walk in there just before like a rush of people that have appointments come. They snuck us in right away. And so shout out Cabela's. And in return, it was like, shit. For Crawford's grandpa, we should get him a gift card to Cabela's. So it worked out well.
A duck blind.
Yes. Ammunition.
Yeah. For the inevitable the inevitable end of society.
Box of birdshot, box of buckshot. Everybody loves it for Christmas.
Armor piercing
why
bullets.
does Cabela's have Santa? Well, I'll give you 100.
It's a draw.
reasons.
It makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
If you have a huge store,
I guess why not?
and you have Santa, everyone's going to come there thinking Christmas. And
Sears isn't a thing anymore. They don't have it.
Well, we did this one thing at Duchess. You remember Positively Princess? Well, you guys don't remember the little stuff where I did that Oodle like princess video.
Yeah.
So Positively Princess is this charity. Well, they're actually not even a registered charity. They're just a group of people that have these cool like Disney costumes, and they go to the Stollery to like just cheer people up. So try to support them wherever we can. So we did this thing with them to come to Duchess, and like the amount of people that showed up to take photos with like Elsa and Olaf and the
I believe it.
like little kids dressed up in princess gear. It was great. Anyways, that's why you have Santa at your place and Elsa.
It's smart.
Makes
I
sense
went-
to me now. I'm thinking about it.
I was at Southgate on the weekend, Christmas shopping, and you know what they did there that's super weird? They have living mannequins.
Oh, I was there actually this weekend.
What?
was that?
What do you mean
Weird.
living mannequins?
There is like things in the middle way with people sitting wearing gear, holding up a sign, being like, you can buy this at this place. And they're like staring off into the distance. And I'm there with Wanye Jr.
Okay, wait, like
So they're essentially
animated
the guy-
mannequins or real people?
Real people.
So they're essentially the guy on the side of the road spinning the sign.
no
in a mall.
movement.
But they're actually kind of bad.
But hold on. But this is very strange. Like I've been shopping.
You moved.
They do move. Like
They do
very
move, and then
easily.
they walk, but then they walk through
think
the
it's by
middle
design,
and they stare right through you.
Yes.
Try explaining this to a 3-year-old. He goes, who's that guy? I'm like, honestly, man, I have no fucking clue. I think they're trying to sell clothes. He's like, why is he sitting there? I'm like, again, very confusing. I can't speak to this. I don't know if this works as a marketing strategy. They're trying to sell the clothes that guy is wearing. He goes, I wouldn't buy those. And that was the end of it, right? It's very interesting that, like, I don't know where the fuck at the shopping
I didn't know what
convention,
it
where did they
was.
come up with this shit?
I
And
don't-
these people are like just sitting there like, oh, this is what I do. I sit in a chair and don't make eye contact. Buy my blouse. What the fuck? But it must work.
I don't get that at all.
I don't get it either.
Like it's an interactive art installation.
It is,
Fantastic.
but it is. It is. I guess I got to think about that.
I'm trying to put the spin on why they would do it.
It must work. It must be just better marketing than having a sign up that says 25% off.
I mean, that's a tough gig.
Yeah.
Here's how this shopping trip concludes. We're walking. We're going through the bay. I've parked where I think I'm going. I'm walking. A 3-year-old stops. This is Wanye Jr. and goes, Dad, you're going the wrong way. We parked this way. And I was like, you got it. Like I'm at the store with my friend. He's a 3-year-old. He's already smarter than I am. Remembers everything better. Dad, you're going the wrong way. We parked this way. Like, cool.
Nice.
Can barely make himself
There's
understood.
a reason why I brought you.
That's not
Crazy that he remembered
It
that.
is, man. Like, and he's thinking like way in advance. We weren't near the door at all, and I went the wrong way, and he went, "No, you're going the wrong way. You're gonna be a Bond villain." Crazy.
Speaking of kids just being way smarter than I feel like I ever remember kids being, I have a niece who's in kindergarten now, and she's very smart. She knows sign language like fluently, which is weird.
Wow.
Very
Does she
weird.
know anyone who's deaf?
No, she just learned it.
Amazing.
It's weird. And she, I guess one of their lessons in kindergarten was to learn all the holidays of the world. And she gave like an in-depth description on what Diwali is.
Diwali.
And I was, yeah, I'm saying that right?
Pronounced
The W's of E.
Diwali?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Again, I don't know, but she knew everything about it. It was crazy.
Who does she sign to?
It's just like a thing they teach kids now, I guess.
How do you know it's real sign language and not just mumbo jumbo?
Again, I don't personally know. I'm kind of taking her word for it. I know how to do
You're
more.
not fact-checking
This
these?
is more. That's all I know. And she'll like do her name and stuff and like ask for things. I don't know the accuracy of it, but I'm assuming they're not teaching her mumbo jumbo in school. Very
good that they teach them that though.
Yeah, it's very
cool.
good. Yeah, it's cool.
I actually, because of TikTok, learned the sign for abortion, and it is fucking hilarious and outrageous. Ready for this, Tyler?
Yep. Bag milk off camera. No way. You know what? You need to be blunt.
I don't think that abortion and hilarious go in sentences very often, but approved.
Yeah, at first I was like, we might edit this out, but then
Like,
you did it, and I was like,
fuck. I guess it makes sense.
It makes total sense, but when you see it, it's jarring.
Yes, I'm scarred.
Well, I have a question about sign language interpreters that appear at political press conferences.
Are they real?
Why can't you just have subtitles? Because, like, it seems as though most politicians now have a sign language interpreter.
yeah.
But there's a lot of people I think who are like old and hard of hearing, but don't speak sign language.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Why do you need a sign language person to come there when you could just have subtitles for all levels of hard of hearing that can't?
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not.
Are you trying to take away jobs, man?
Yeah.
Are you a member of Parliament?
First, you say there should be no more walking around alive models, and now no more sign language people.
You don't want anyone to work.
Can you imagine? What are you doing for the Saturday? Well,
I got a model.
My favorite is the people that do the sign language beside like hip hop artists or whatever. Those are my favorite.
Yeah, those are
They're
sweet.
so good.
Oh, the emotion.
Yeah. You got it. You got to
the
sell
one
it.
where Waka Flocka Flame doesn't know that the interpreter is doing sign language and thinks she's dancing. Have you seen that?
Oh yes,
At like a festival? It's very funny. And he's like, watched her dance. He's like, yeah. Outrageous. I want everybody to have a job.
Yeah.
It just strikes me as strange, some of these things we do.
Yep. I agree.
Makes me strange.
All right, we're about halfway through the pod. We haven't talked any hockey yet. Stunner. We're going to step aside for a quick break, though.
We were talking exclusively about hockey before the show started, and you said, don't say any of these words. And then the mood shifted and we went away on a different run.
Yeah, you dropped the puzzle bomb on us.
Yeah, that had some legs, and it wasn't even a part of my prep. Hockey Talk today is brought to you by Alberta Blue Cross. There's only one thing better than sharing memories. That is making new ones. Alberta Blue Cross Travel Insurance protects your memories and more wherever your travel takes you. Visit ab.bluecross.ca/travel for more information. Maybe you want to come on the latest nation vacation, which is powered by Alberta Blue Cross. Where are we going, Liam?
Arizona.
When are we going?
February 18th to the 20th.
And what do people get when they purchase their trip for $19.99 based on double occupancy at nationgear.ca?
Flight,
Yeah.
tickets to the game,
Yeah.
hotel,
Yeah.
A puzzle?
transportation.
To and from the airport
To and from
in
the
Arizona.
And good
And
times, oh plenty.
Memories
And
that
good
last a
times,
lifetime.
But those are priceless.
Yeah.
I want to find a way when we're in Arizona, if this is possible, to do like a live ONE with like a studio audience. So like people who come on the trip can like sit and like we can do a Q&A and like,
Because that's a Monday.
yeah. So we can do like our game day edition of the show in
We
Arizona.
could do like our college game day.
Yeah. And we could have everyone sitting there
I'll
in a
cut
little
off
room.
my sleeves.
It'd be cool.
Could pile everybody into our hotel room.
Sure. That could be an option.
It's a
Do
variety
we have a
of
pool?
Ooh,
Pool show.
the pool show would be neat.
That would be cool. Shallow end, no.
You can wear floaties.
You're not a swimmer?
Not much of a swimmer.
We got to
no.
tread water the entire episode.
It might be a two-man show after a while or instantly.
Yeah, Liam just floating around in the background.
Not a big swimmer.
No, not a big swimmer.
Took lessons as a kid?
Island boy.
Yeah. I'm
Island boy.
an island boy.
Okay. Oh, but you took lessons as a kid, so you could swim.
Are you
if
not
needed to.
buoyant? Some people aren't buoyant.
I just don't like it.
My sister swims like a
Don't really
rock.
Swim. Like a rock.
You know, Michael Jordan can't swim.
Like the basketball player or the hockey player?
He's tall
Michael
enough.
B. Jordan, the actor.
Ah.
Did you see the Ferrari thing with Michael B. Jordan?
There's a hockey player named Michael Jordan?
Yeah, he wasn't good. And, and he was from the Czech Republic.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see the video from behind where he goes?
Where he just slams his Ferrari
It
into that
looks like
parked car.
it just gets like you hit the gas on a Ferrari and it's so heavy in the back that the front end fish
Got too much jam, maybe.
He just goes like off the light and he goes, and then you just go,
It crashes into like a Kia or something.
How unfortunate, Michael B. Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fortunate to be that Kia driver. Damn.
No, it was a park Kia. Nobody in there.
So you're out for dinner. You
But
come
his
out.
Ferrari shredded to bits.
Yeah, his Ferrari
Really?
is, seen better days.
Those aren't built for contact.
Clearly not. Like
No.
the tire popped off, the whole damn thing.
You think it might have been.
No.
Too bad.
You know, the Amanda Bynes podcast was canceled after a single episode.
Can't imagine why.
She said she couldn't get good guests like Drake,
Well,
Who was the guest on the first episode?
her tattoo artist that gave her the face tattoo.
Amanda Bynes?
Yes.
From
the Amanda Bynes you picture in your head is not the Amanda Bynes.
That is not
of
Amanda Bynes
2023.
2023.
No.
Like goody two shoes.
Whoa.
Let's see.
It's very sad though. There's nothing to make fun of
Yeah.
here.
No.
Amanda Bynes is at a very hard road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pauses her podcast after just one episode.
pauses, thankfully not cancelled.
Wow.
Wasn't she the goody two shoe in Scarlet Letter? Or Easy A?
No, she was.
She's the man.
Nickelodeon.
Is it What a Girl Wants? Isn't that the one she was in? Easy A was Emma Stone.
She's the man.
Emma Stone, but I know, but the goody two shoe.
Oh yes, she was. She was right.
I don't know.
She was in Easy A. Jay's right.
What was the other? What? Yeah,
Marianne in
What a Girl
Easy
What
A.
the girl wants.
She, had
She was in
a
Hairspray.
few hits.
Yeah. That's a sad story.
Nothing better than She's a Man though. It's a good one.
Where was I going with this? I think I said
you were trying to bring Oiler talk up, but you suck at it.
what? I did an ad read and then we got here.
And you're like, we haven't done Oilers talk yet, and somehow you're talking about Amanda Bynes.
Yeah. Where'd that come from? You weirdo.
Yeah. Bring it on the rails.
Come on.
That's
Amanda
you.
Bynes. She hasn't been
Puzzle hater.
relevant in 20 years. Who cares if she has a podcast?
If she could get Drake on it though, then we're back on track.
Imagine we quit all the podcasts and we couldn't get Drake to go on.
You said the vibes in Rogers Place were really good on Saturday BM.
I mean, before the game.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a
Yeah, that was great. That was my first game at Rogers Place of the year. Their Christmas presentation before the game was a lot of fun. They were chucking presents off the upper
Oh, yeah,
bowl.
that's the last game before Christmas.
Yeah. And they had
Little, parachutes.
yeah, it was great. It was awesome. And then their like pregame cartoon with Hunter was traveling around with Santa and he was delivering joy. And then real Hunter was there banging on the drum. And I was having fun. It was great. The vibes in there were electric. And then, and then the game happened.
Can I add something? And I'm sure that the Oilers are listening to this podcast because we hear from them enough. Take those videos, which are unreal, and put them on social.
Yeah, I totally should.
Like they're such finally you're getting some high quality pre-production, post-production shit. You'd put that on Insta, that shit's gonna knock. You put that on TikTok, that shit's gonna slap.
I'm going to say it was probably like a 3-minute adventure Cartoon Hunter went on, and it was a lot of fun to watch.
Amazing.
It wasn't for me, but I enjoyed it.
We put a reel on TLNDCJ. No, if you're familiar with them on Instagram, they're
Yeah.
red hot.
You sent me that screenshot.
It's the all-time highest viewed thing I've ever been associated with. I didn't do it. Somebody else did. It's William Nylander ripping off the ice in Stockholm, but they've put levels in the story. What were the numbers on it? Like 3.9 million impressions
So it's just an absolute banger.
just for William Nylander ripping off
Yep.
The
Levels
Avicii.
gets the people going, though.
Well, of course.
at the Avicii
At the
Stadium.
Avicii Stadium.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks like Avicii.
Unbelievable.
Really?
Yeah, you could, loosely
Yeah.
connect the two.
Disappointing night for the Oilers though. Oh boy.
Strangely shaped heads. That's
Well,
the
I mean,
sweetest.
Calvin Pickard was not the answer on.
Well, but
That's not to hang it on him, but he wasn't part of the solution either.
Yeah, if you give up
ran our show.
The 2 goals in the last minute of the first period was just like nothing sucked the air out of the room quite like that. The Oilers had good chances. Nuge had a good look early on.
Yeah.
There were some really good looks early on. Couldn't cash anything on Bobrovsky. And then they bang, okay, 1-0, fine. The last minute, bang, bang.
Bobrovsky, though, is so good.
Against us.
all right.
Is he not that good for the world?
Before
I
that,
think he's- I
he
think
just
he's-
got an assist the last game.
It was good that game.
lost 4-0.
He's goalied us. Like, I don't know enough, but he's goalied us the last 2 games.
Also,
Get
But also,
goalied.
like, how, like Florida is fast and Florida attacks. Like, Florida's good.
Florida is good.
but they just got shut out 4-0 in the 2 games prior to that. So I was
They
just
can-
like,
they
they're
can
going to come
play it
in
off.
sassy. And they did. And the Oilers could not counter. at
But,
all.
like, that's like, we don't right now have that level of attack.
Well, the second line, Leon was just like it's just non-existent. So I wasn't exactly surprised to see Nobby split up the first line, which is a bummer given how good they're playing. Like Hyman's goal is fantastic.
Yeah.
Zach Hyman is a gift.
I almost choked on some popcorn. I am eating while doing this podcast. Liam brought up a good point on After Dark on Saturday night when someone was like, oh, how do we always get goalied?
Maybe we just don't know how to score goals sometimes.
I think we're on something there.
Like it happens all the time. Like they've had so many, I think that would be their 6th game this season, maybe even more, where they've had 40 or more shots. I guess this goes back to Tampa more as well, where they just haven't won the game.
Chalmers is right.
But like there was
Against 2 elite goalies.
no, okay.
Bobrovsky didn't.
Bobrovsky didn't play that good.
What?
Man, that
he's-
one
are
on
you kidding
Nuge
me,
was
man?
right in front of me. Like
He
4 or
made
5 minutes
several
into the
big
game.
league saves.
He's
Massive
good.
save.
I just think like the 2 games before that team hadn't scored a goal. He played in both games and the other team scored 4 goals against him.
There was that one play where Bouchard made the pad pass to Fogle, went right, Bobrovsky kicked it right back out into the slot, and Fogle just more or less hammered it on the ice. And it's like, okay, if you get that, you're an NHL player. Get that 2.5 feet in the air, it's in the net. There were a couple other times too where, I mean, the one Zach Hyman, I'll never get mad at Zach Hyman, but he didn't bear down in the crease, couldn't finish off that chance. Like there were enough moments, the Ekholm breakaway, Bobrovsky guesses the wrong way and Ekholm shoots it at his knee. It's like, what are you even aiming for? I think there is an argument that the Oilers just aren't great finishers. They generate a ton of volume, and the games when they do start finishing, it's like, boom, they pop them 6 and you're laughing. But like that game against Florida, yeah, Bobrovsky was good. He made some 10-bell saves, but there were also a bunch of moments where the Oilers just shot it at him. It was frustrating.
That's fair, but that can still mean he had a good game.
Yeah, you're
He
right.
did have a good game.
But like even the game against Tampa, everyone's like, oh, they got goalied by Vasilevsky.
They did,
They
though.
did.
Okay, but they scored 4 times. Like, again, that's not getting goalied. That's your own
He made
goalie.
51 saves.
I know.
3.
Goalie.
But you scored 4 times still, and you didn't win the game. Like, you should have won that game 4-2.
That's still a 9 plus 900.
I know, yeah.
percentage.
But it wasn't a 980, whatever, right? Like, they beat them 4 times. And it's just, again, I don't look at those 2 games and go, oh, the reason they lost is because they got goalied. I go, their goalie gave up too many in game 1. And in game 2, they needed to bear down and finish. And then also, like you said, BM, not shit their pants for 90 seconds at the end of the first.
There is that.
But like
that will not help.
Florida is a good attacking team.
Yeah, they're really good.
They buzz, their defense activate, and we've been seeing some glimpses of that ourselves with Paul Coffey at the helm. But that's we have to compare ourselves to a team like that, and we don't have that right now.
Like,
And
there's
that's,
just some really sloppy defending.
That's scary.
Like, the Oilers been so much better over the last handful of weeks of defending, but on Saturday night, that was not.
It was definitely
not.
It's that attacking, man. They're physical too.
And they always
Yeah.
physical.
Ryan McLeod, love him. He is very soft.
Very.
Fly by King, yeah.
Like, there's a lot of guys that, and I'm not trying to single out McLeod, but like Connor Brown, same thing.
Are you saying if Ryan McLeod was better, we would have won?
Exclusively.
Maybe. But like, I was watching Connor Brown because I was there and I was sitting there. I'm like, all right, I'm going to stare at him. And at the end of the game, I was telling my brother, I'm like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to write my thing for tomorrow morning. And I guarantee his stat line is 0s across the board. And it was. He had 1 shot on net, 2 shots on net.
I was arguing with somebody online the other day, and they said Ken Holland at $5 million, signing Connor Brown for 4,
Yep.
and Jack Campbell for 5 is the biggest waste of $14 million you could think of. And I was like,
Daryl Cates sitting there like, ah, damn it.
he ain't wrong.
This Vamelka rumor, though.
Is that legit though?
What's this
By the way,
mean?
do you remember the singer Chaos? He was at the game on Saturday.
What?
Yeah.
Chaos. Wait, what?
He had that song, Every Day You're Saturday.
Yeah.
He was there.
Was he on the scoreboard?
Yeah. Everybody went crazy.
What's
Love
he doing
chaos.
in Edmonton?
I don't know. Why not?
Performing
Chilling.
at Ed's.
Why was Urkel here? I'd love to know.
That's a great point.
That made no sense as interview.
Yeah. Chaos was there. Everybody went bananas. Loved it.
That's cool.
Okay, but the Vamelka,
Yeah. Is there actually like
there's
legs
teams
on it?
calling in on Vamelka.
What is
Arizona
that even?
is open to moving him, according to Frank.
Who is that, though? I don't know who that
He's
is.
Arizona's backup goalie.
Oh, good. The little arena's backup goalie.
Are you just saying that to diminish him?
I mean, he is right now.
We're trying to drive down his value.
He's good. I'm not saying
He's lost his starter's job, though, to Liam's point.
He is
He
played
needs to
13.
change his scenery.
He's
Is
played
it-
13 games this season and won 3 games.
That's the answer.
I just don't think he's even close. To,
Jesus
shouldn't be an option.
Is he an upgrade on Jack Campbell?
I mean, any of us in this room could
Is
be
he an upgrade
Jack
on
Campbell.
Calvin Pickard.
Picard?
Pickard has a better save percentage than him this season. And Pickard just got lit up for 5.
But do you not, if it means the liberation of Jack Campbell as cap hit,
Yeah, they're not.
consider it?
Yes, for sure. And that would be the only
Not saying
reason.
that like Vejmelka is a salary cap down.
First
You want to
Broberg,
talk about a guy who's got upside.
first Broberg, Borgo for Vejmelka. Do you do it?
No. For the backup goalie?
I've changed my mind on that. You put me on the spot on Saturday, and now I'm
How dare you?
putting it back on you. No chance.
Here's what we need to
It's
do.
too much.
here,
I wouldn't
Chuck.
do it either.
We need to go find.
If Jack's going back.
So yeah. Jack's going back in that deal.
Oh,
First Broberg, Borgo, and Campbell for Vejmelka. Sorry.
Because part of that cost has to get rid of Campbell.
Yeah, because that's why. Yeah, I'm thinking like it's the first and probably half of Broberg to get rid of Campbell, then the other half of Broberg and Borgo to get Vejmelka.
Yeah.
Oh, that's high.
I would. I
No.
see Phoenix.
No, you're right.
I'd give him like Philip Kemp. And
What
like
if they
a
don't
first
want
and
Philip Kemp?
Then that's the offer.
I'd give
Then
him
you give
Kesselring.
Yeah.
Get Kesselring back, then flip him back.
Here's what you do. If major Hollywood motion pictures have taught me anything, we do a montage. We look at hundreds of photos, just headshots of goalies from around the world. Hundreds. And someone's going to hold up one guy and say, what about this guy? And then one coach will say, oh, we haven't seen him in years. And then another coach will go, oh, he lives in the woods now. And then we need to drive out and see him in his place in the woods. And he'll have like an old jersey hung up in the corner, but now he has a long beard. He's like, oh, I don't play goalie anymore. I haven't done that in years. And then they open a door and see that's his jersey. And it really was him. Then we convince him to come back and play hockey. And
His
then
name? Ilya Brzgalov.
Unbelievable.
I was just saying the way you were
Happy
explaining
Bullet.
that, I'm like, that's Mike Smith.
I was thinking Mike Smith.
Oh, and he gets lowered from the rafters. Like
What?
Sting.
But the first thing to go when you retire your groins, you got to think.
Yeah.
Like Mike Smith makes one pad save and he's not walking.
I roasted Mike Smith a lot when he
I did
was
too.
here.
I miss him.
His body of work was impressive.
It was. In hindsight,
First shot,
I'm
though,
sorry.
he's the goalie brought first shot disease to the Oilers entertainment group because he was the only goalie I'd ever seen to that point that would just get rifled on first.
Yep, first shot every game. Him and Miko would always
Then
give
Miko
up.
caught it.
I feel like Talbot started that on his way up.
Talbot also had some of that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
were.
the
it's
last
kind
year.
of- yeah.
And now he's one of the best goalies in the league.
Of course
somehow.
he is. Of course he is.
It's because the team in front of him is so fucking good.
Are you
Yeah.
telling me you need to have good goaltending and good defense? Fuck, that's
Theory.
hard.
It's a theory.
That is the concerning part when you look at the Western Conference right now. It's like, okay, if
We
Winnipeg,
haven't played LA yet.
if Winnipeg,
scared to see what's
Winnipeg goes out and gets a centerman, their roster looks so perfect. And like, if LA goes out, I don't even. Maybe they need to add a good backup.
10 straight for Hellebuck with 2 goals or less.
He's so hot.
Wait till he meets the Oilers featuring the backup goalie from the Arizona Coyotes. Hey-oh.
Yeah, but then we can do that cap space.
Well, if Campbell's leaving, that's a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, another defense.
Because he got lit up again this weekend, didn't he?
Yeah,
Campbell? Yes.
Oh, and they were some ugly ones.
not looking good.
The point I was making was when you look around the Western Conference, it's like Winnipeg seems like they're a piece away. Colorado's apparently talking about getting Elias Lindholm. That's mildly concerning. Dallas is talking about adding a forward. Vegas looks good. LA looks very good. Vancouver wants to keep adding.
They've made all the trades.
I know. They've made like 6 of the last 9
They're
trades.
constantly adjusting right now.
Oh no, they're adjusting.
Everyone's adjusting around us.
We're
won't
not
adjust.
adjusting.
And then you look at the Oilers and it's like, okay, they have no cap space. They need to get a goalie. They need to upgrade Cody Ceci, and they need another centerman. And it's like
they need to keep CC, but just
They need to move.
but they
down.
can't afford to keep CC and upgrade CC.
Trade Fogel. What does Fogel do that? Like,
Yeah,
CC is way more
more. Yeah,
reliable for
you
this
got to
team than
keep
Fogel.
CC.
If you can find a way to do it, sure, but I just don't think the money will work.
William just gave you one.
Yeah,
What?
Warren Fogle.
yeah,
No, I'm saying like I don't think just trading Warren Fogle is even enough to give you the cap space you need to get a goalie, a D-man, and a centerman.
Put him in that Vejmelka trade you just made with Bogo and Broberg and Fogel, and then you have all your cap problems solved.
Just take everybody that sucks, mush them together, and say that the aggregate of those people will get you a good player back.
See you, Jay. Will Jay remember
Shut the door.
to close the door?
Oh, he's 1 for 4.
It's a podcast first, everybody.
Over under.
We should really try starting this podcast on time more because then Jay wouldn't have to leave with 5 minutes left every time. Oh, well, that's life.
What are you gonna do? Got
least
some of
we've-
that popcorn or what's going on?
Yeah. Here,
I've
I'll
been
press it
kind of
down.
looking at that too a little bit.
Yeah,
Wow,
you just
that
are
bag is
bogarting.
gone.
Well, it was mostly me.
Really put a dent in that popcorn.
Uh, I've only had like 3 or 4 handfuls since we started recording the pod.
It was me and Coom.
Yeah, you and Coombs, you were crushing it.
We were doing
Get some of
math.
that Italian cake bread after.
Is it good? It smelled funny.
Oh, it's so good. No, Kennedy bought it.
Oh, she bought it.
Kennedy's aunt went to a market.
Probably the Italian center.
The Italian Center is the best.
It is so good.
Sometimes I go in there because I need a proper latte. And the people that are in the cafe at the Italian Center look like they're on a TV show about people who should be having coffee at the Italian Center. Like stereotypical old Italian men sitting there and going like this to each other and shit. It's awesome.
You go in there, you get a nice coffee, maybe like a nice tart or something.
Delicious.
The best.
Ready to hear this all-time Italian person story? Loads his mouth up with my
Go for it.
Italian Center in good old St. Albert, my neck of the woods. I used to live right across the street from it. And 2 summers ago, and I still live there, Amber and I went and got an ice cream. And as we walk out, who is the one Italian you would expect to see?
Gene Principe?
Frank Saravalli.
Oh, no, the second Italian relating to the Oilers.
Fernando Pisani?
Fernando Pisani was
Hell
just
yeah.
sitting there having his little latte with a group of other assuming Italian
They
men.
love getting together and talking.
They love getting together and talking to the Italian Center. I saw Fernando there. And that's all. That was my whole story. Ice cream was good.
love nothing more than you go into the Italian Center, you get one of their pizza doughs that are like very, very cheap,
yes.
but they're fresh.
Oh, it's
And then you just load up on meats and cheeses from the deli. That is
Homemade
a
pizza night?
great Sunday.
yep. Amen, brother.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Maybe make a nice charcutes. You know,
You can get
all the
whatever
meats
you
and
want.
cheeses you want.
Their vegetables are very well priced too. I love
They
that
don't
time.
even sponsor us, by the way. We're just
But if
straight
you want
riffing.
You go in there and get a cannoli. Come on, you're having a great day.
Yep.
They just got one in Sherwood Park like 2 years ago.
I would
used to
live
live
there.
right by it. And I used to walk every summer. Well, every day during the summer. I would go. It was a nice 2K walk there and back. Got a cup of Joe. Put your feet up for 10 minutes. Walk back.
Talk to your fellow Italian Canadians about things in the new world.
Yeah. All my fellow Italians.
Hey, did you see the Senators fired their head coach?
So I know that they've got Jacques Lemaire just kind of swapping in there.
Jacques Lemaire still alive?
Jacques Martin.
Jacques Martin.
Oh
Jacques
my
Martin.
God.
Which you could also say Jacques Martin's still alive.
Yeah, not Jacques Lemaire.
Didn't he used
Jacques
to coach Ottawa?
Yeah. And they brought him in.
I thought they were going to do.
Yeah.
I thought Woody was sliding in.
Me too.
Woody slide.
Woody's interesting.
They brought in Jacques Martin like 10 days ago to be a advisor to the coaching
It was
staff.
like when Mac T was on the bench.
Yeah, and DJ
yeah.
Smith was like, no, I'm still feeling safe about my job.
That's all good.
I'm excited to have him on board. Like 10 days later, he's taking his spot. Yeah, not great in Ottawa. Poor DJ Smith. Once was in the same pool as DJ Smith.
How many years left on the contract? That's what I always find. fascinating.
He was
Coach-
expiring deal. So that sucks for him. Like at least for Woody could not work next year and still make $3 million.
Hell yeah.
You're living good. 3 million USD. So if you're going to stay living in Canada,
There's nothing preventing him from working again, is there?
Woody?
Yeah.
no, he could work. Yeah.
Still get paid twice?
No, so you get the difference. So if he went to Ottawa and Ottawa was like, we're going to give you $2 million a year, the Oilers have to top him up $1 million.
I love how crummy you're getting.
You're
over
making
that.
a mess.
You know what, man? Here's the thing. There's this much popcorn left.
You pulled
A reasonable man would say this bag is done.
Not you.
I am not a reasonable man. I will just put this all on my shirt.
And considering our office's lack of vacuum, those pieces will stay here.
I assume there's a Roomba some point coming through.
We just have Waz going down all over the room. You know, sucks them all up.
Didn't you tell me you did this exact same thing? And now you're judging me, Liam?
I did do that.
Don't like to see a man living.
Well, I was watching Home Alone this weekend, which I've never watched from start to finish before.
Macaulay Culkin's a really good actor, man.
He was really good.
It's
in
a
that
really good movie.
The movie's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of, someone said it and I never picked it up, but like the details in the movie are really, really good. Something about like the old guy lives across the street and thinks he's like a murderer.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
he meets him at the church. He's like, it's like a Band-Aid on. I guess that has some connection, something in the movie. Like he has a Band-Aid.
Oh my God. Are you going to say a bunch of shit, but you don't know what the fuck you're talking
No, I
about?
can't remember what she said, but if you were watching it this holiday season,
Why would you tell the first half of that story without knowing the second half of
I was
that
like-
story?
I was trying to keep a conversation
So the old man's wearing a Band-Aid and that has something to do with the movie?
on his hand, and it's like the reason he doesn't go to the pharmacy. Oh, he doesn't go to now I get it, because his son is a pharmacist, and he doesn't go to the pharmacy, so he has a Band-Aid on his hand
But he doesn't want to see his son?
because him and his son don't talk, right?
Isn't there more than one pharmacy in this fictional town?
No, I don't think. Well,
So
Chicago.
McAllister's live in a $12 million house in a city with one pharmacy.
Just a massive
so.
house.
Yeah, they also
One
forgot their
pharmacy.
child. So I mean,
You know what? I have a child. It's easy to forget a kid, especially if you got 12 of them and one of them is named Buzz.
You'd never forget Buzz.
No, you can't forget Buzz.
Did you know? I'm sure you saw the same meme, but Buzz's girlfriend in that movie. Remember how Kevin Caesar goes, Buzz, woof.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's the director's son that he made wear a wig because it was too mean to do to any girl. He made his own kid be the girl.
That movie, just like when the robbers, the burglars comes into his house and the shit he does to those guys is crazy.
The
Just, he
YouTube-
drops an iron on the guy's head.
Oh, the best. So violent.
That's why there's those great memes where it's like, no. Kevin was hunting them. He wanted this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like the guy stepping up the stairs and like walking up the stairs in tar.
Yeah. Steps on the nail.
But also one thing I was thinking about how stupid this guy was who was walking up the stairs is, okay, so your shoes got stuck, your socks got stuck, so you decide to go barefoot.
You got to keep going, though.
But what you're just gonna lose.
You got to
next
keep
thing
going
is
at this
skin.
point. You're halfway up the stairs.
I love the deep dive we're doing on a movie from 1991.
To reference
awesome.
another Family Guy bit, they do one where it's like, this is more boring than Home Alone with competent robbers. And they walk up to the door and they touch the doorknob and they go, hey, look, careful, the doorknob's hot. Then they walk in and they go, oh my God, there's marbles everywhere. And the kid goes around, they shoot him, just kill him. Movie ends.
Isn't it the second one where he opens the door, doesn't look down, and it's just a big hole?
Yeah.
And he just
Yeah, that's in
falls
New York.
In the
into
basement.
hole?
Yeah.
It's a construction site, though.
Yeah, but like,
It all ties
I
together.
feel like if I was to stand at that door, I wouldn't just see anything that is like eye level. I would
Listen,
see the
But it's
big
under
open hole.
construction. Home Alone 2 is so good. Like, that's
It
one of
is
the better
good.
sequels.
Yeah, Donald
Oh,
Trump's in
great.
that one.
I really wanted one of those Talkmans when I was a kid because I was roughly the same age as Macaulay Culkin at the time. The thing where he talks into it in the second one.
Oh yeah.
Or have you not gotten that far yet?
I saw the back half of the second one the other day.
The back half.
It was just on.
The back nine.
The last couple minutes.
Oh, they do find him. Oh, okay, cool.
I wonder how this all got set up.
Imagine there was a Home Alone 3 and they just,
There is.
there was. There's a different kid, though.
Yeah,
There's
different
6
kid.
of them.
What?
There's 6 Home Alones. They just made another one a couple of years
The
ago.
best.
Oh, now his parents are just negligent.
Have you seen the Google ad with Macaulay Culkin in it where he plays himself
Yeah.
present? Google's got so much money. They got Macaulay Culkin coming back to Home Alone
Kevin
money.
McAllister.
10 million, they
When
said.
was
Oh,
the
yeah.
third one made? Does that say 97?
90, 92, 97, 02, 2012, and 2021.
Imagine if all 6 of these though were just they just left Macaulay Culkin at home every year. Like, oh no, he
Oh, no.
He's like grown adult Macaulay Culkin.
just lives at home. His 7 siblings have moved
And
out.
ask Siri
He's
to
so
do
old.
everything for him, eh? Like in that ad.
Yeah, that's good shit.
All right. Well, good episode today, everybody.
Before we go, I want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
The YouTube algorithm is now serving me this amazing stream of content of people taking apart why Hollywood sucks. Like why Star Wars sucks. Like not just Disney bought it, but like here is actually why. They talk about like how they like did a disservice to the plot line in so many different ways and blah, 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 blah. And I watched that and now it's just like why Hollywood movies suck in general. And it's basically saying like back in the day with Home Alone, there isn't 1 second of CGI in that movie.
No, it's all legit.
Yeah.
It's all real. Right. And so you had to put a lot more effort into character development and shit like that. And then they were showing like with like the Iron Man, the Marvel universe, how it started out with like character development and blah, blah, blah. And now it's like 40 action figures fighting 1,000 aliens simultaneously.
Yeah. I used to love all those Marvel movies, but then just they're all so shit now. They're all exactly the same.
It's funny you say that. So there's that show Hot Ones on YouTube. Mark Ruffalo was just on it and he got asked about movies now and he kind of said the same thing. They're all shit now because it's all just you make them for people and you just churn them out, but it's not art, quote unquote, where you're
Yeah.
making a movie that you're doing for yourself. You're trying to figure out what other people like. I just thought it was an interesting look at it because those superhero movies, it's like you said, you go to see Infinity Wars and it's just this big battle of fictional creatures, but Home Alone, that's all just Macaulay
It's so
Culkin.
good. Right. And like it's lower
I would argue
budget.
the same thing with music. Music back in the day, there was no. You actually had to be able to play your instrument and have that song come out of or that sound come out of your face.
You don't think music's better now than it used to be?
I don't think so.
Really?
I think that's why I don't really like music that much, but I like a guy like
In general?
I just think I like a guy like Ed Sheeran. because he's actually talented.
Yeah, he's very talented.
And he can play. I saw him live. He opened up. I went to the Taylor Swift concert in 2013, and Ed Sheeran opened up, and he was just literally stood there with his guitar and his like foot pedal thing,
His looper.
just in a sold out Rexall, and just played his songs. Brad Paisley did the same thing when I saw him too in Red Deer, which was kind of cool. But now it's just like you go and it's just like all this crazy shit happening. It's like, yeah, but are they actually a good singer?
I like rap
Yeah, me too.
exclusively, and I still think there's always good music coming out.
Hip hop, I would say, is outside of that.
You're talking about, like guitar band
Like,
musicians.
Yeah, like there's no rock bands.
It's weird how there's no rock bands. It's weird how there isn't like 20 new Killers, right? Like it's strange.
like it feels like Foo Fighters and like the Killers were kind of like the last of like a dying breed.
What about
almost.
like the Black Keys? They were kind of big.
They were
for
There we
great.
go.
Yeah,
But like you
they're
gotta
good.
like
But there's-
there are still bands like Royal Blood is a band that I like. There's just the
Arkells.
two of them. Arkells, they like
Yep, they're good.
when we went and saw Arkells at that NHL event, man, they put on a show.
refreshing.
They
'Cause
put on
just
a
go and they
really
do their
good
music.
show.
Yeah.
And they play the music and the guy's a good singer and they're masters at their craft.
But I get what you're saying now. It's a little more few and far between than it feels like it used to be.
Yeah.
Specifically in like playing actual instruments.
Yeah.
Hip hop's great.
Hip hop's great. And hip hop like Rolling Loud and shit where they just get all the rappers together, even if they're beefing, and do like a 4-day concert where they all shoot each other. It's great.
Yeah, hip hop's I think just different though, isn't it? Because it's never been. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's not been about your instruments. It's about more of your lyrics.
You need
right?
a beat.
Yeah, you need to be like instruments are obviously heavily involved, but like I don't know, it just feels a little bit different.
We were talking about this today, Bag Milk and I, in our pre-game show where we just had a conversation on the phone like normal people. How
like this
Who
one?
keeps calling you?
I get so many robocalls now that it drives. I can't answer my
you're an
phone
ad
anymore.
for why I don't want an Apple phone watch.
Why?
Like, why the fuck would I want my wrist to ring? Am I Dick
no,
Tracy?
that was my phone ringing. I just didn't have the ringer on
But you look at your phone
because I
you
can shut it off.
well, still.
So anyways, you and Bag Milk on the pre-show.
Yeah,
That
we're
was
just
just a phone
talking
call.
about Kanye has the new Vultures album coming out.
Yeah, he just released the one song the other day.
So it's all on YouTube. The
You see
whole
what
album.
Joe Rogan said?
No.
He said, "I wonder if Kanye can make a comeback like Bud Light."
Oh, of course he can. Kanye is amazing. And so what they started doing is they did a little rave show. They called it a rave in Miami, where they just wanted to see the public's reaction to like, would he be booed off stage or whatever, right? So he did a live performance of it. And like all the big rappers on the album were there with him standing in the background. And it was all recorded. So nobody was rapping live. It's unbelievable music, man. It's so good. And we're talking about Kanye versus Drake. And what's amazing about Drake, arguably the best rapper of all time, the most hits, right?
Yeah.
His discography is a collection of really good producers. Kanye's discography is Kanye.
Yeah.
So would that make Kanye the best?
Because in addition to Kanye making all his own music for himself, he's probably made for every song he's made for himself 3 songs for other people, which means Kanye has his whole discography plus all the songs he's produced and featured on. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, if you're
man.
talking about an all-around musician, I get that.
Why would Drake be labeled as the best when he's as a hip hop artist when his popular songs aren't in more like pop?
We're talking like
songs?
2023
Top 40
Drake,
songs?
right? Like if you go back to the beginning when he's with Lil Wayne and shit, like in
Yeah.
2010.
Like the motto.
Yeah.
And when he decides to crank it up, he can still crank
And he
it
can
up.
sing. That's why I think Drake's amazing. He can sing
Yeah,
and he
he's
can
unique.
rap. That's phenomenal. I think 2023 Drake, where he has like a $400 million record deal and puts out 8 albums in 3 years, like,
Yeah.
but Drake's getting ready to. He said he's starting to plot the concept of a graceful exit.
Yeah.
Will Kendrick Lamar make music again? It's kind of been a while, right?
No, man, those guys are so arty.
Yeah.
He's very arty.
Yeah.
Still liked his last album though.
And 95 smashes.
Yeah. And it has a great
Rap's
song.
cool though, because there used to just be like one type of rap.
Yeah, no, there's
And then it like splintered into all these subcategories of rap that are all pretty cool. And continue to-
Like the Zach Hyman Darnell Nurse commercial where he's talking about country rap.
That's not a thing.
Yeah. See?
All right.
Oilers talk.
We're going late.
stuff.
My brain can only handle exactly 1 hour of a podcast.
Are you having a stroke? What's the matter with you, dude?
Yeah, just,
we did.
a little bit of trouble before actually.
We did have a theory that I may have been having a stroke earlier on in the day. So if I'm
fell
slurring my
down.
words, let me know.
You fell down.
Yeah, I fell down.
What do you mean he fell down?
He fell. He
I
stood
just
up
fell.
and He fell.
Yeah, my right leg keeps cramping up really bad.
What?
Yeah,
I feel like that's
we
something
don't have
that-
enough leg room on our show. Our feet always touch.
Uh huh.
A nightmare.
Well, I'm going to go get that checked out. Everyone else, I'll talk to you on Thursday.